Your alarm goes off. You slept 7 hours, but your body feels like someone unplugged it overnight. That fatigue may not be laziness. It can be your blood sugar leaving fingerprints before breakfast. Let's break down the hidden morning power grid inside your body and why your first hour awake can reveal what happened while you were asleep. First, the morning power grid. Think of your body as a city that has to restart every morning. Your brain is the control tower. Your muscles are the buildings. Your liver is the backup generator. Your pancreas is the power company. And glucose is the electricity moving through the wires. When this grid is balanced, you wake up with steady power. Not superhuman energy, just clean, usable energy. But when the grid is mismanaged overnight, you can wake up with power in the streets but darkness inside the buildings. That is the strange part. You can have sugar in your blood and still feel empty. Second, the dawn generator. Before you wake up, your body does something brilliant. It starts preparing you for movement. In the early morning hours, hormones like cortisol and growth hormone rise. The American Diabetes Association explains that these hormones signal your liver to boost glucose production, giving you fuel for waking. This is not a mistake, it is a built-in sunrise program. Your liver is basically starting the backup generator before the city opens. In a healthy system, insulin keeps that generator from flooding the wires. The pancreas releases enough insulin to guide glucose into cells, and the morning stays stable. But if you have diabetes or your cells are resistant to insulin, that glucose rise may not be controlled well. Now the generator is running, but the power company cannot distribute the electricity properly. Blood glucose can be elevated before you eat a single bite. Third, the locked door problem. This is where fatigue becomes confusing. Most people think high blood sugar means too much energy. That sounds logical, but biologically, it is incomplete. Glucose in the blood is not the same as glucose inside your cells. Insulin is the signal that helps move glucose from the bloodstream into muscle, fat, and liver cells. The NIDDK describes insulin resistance as a state where those cells do not respond well to insulin. So the bloodstream can be loaded with fuel while the cells act like locked buildings with the lights off. The power is nearby. It just cannot get inside efficiently. This is why morning fatigue can feel so strange. You may not feel hungry. You may not feel sick. You simply feel heavy, foggy, and slow because the energy system is not moving fuel where it needs to go. Fourth, the fatigue cluster. Morning tiredness alone does not diagnose anything. You can wake up tired from stress, poor sleep, alcohol, sleep apnea, depression, infection, or 100 ordinary reasons. But blood sugar becomes more suspicious when fatigue travels with a pattern. The NIDDK lists fatigue as one common diabetes symptom, especially when it appears with increased urination, unusual thirst, hunger even after eating, blurred vision, slow healing sores, or frequent infections. These signs matter because they describe a grid under strain. If blood glucose stays high, the body tries to remove extra sugar through urine. That can pull fluid with it. Now you wake up tired, thirsty, and dry, not because the night was short, but because the system spent the night trying to dump excess fuel. That is a different kind of fatigue. It is not just sleep debt, it is metabolic drag. Fifth, the low blood sugar basement. Not every blood sugar problem in the morning is high. Sometimes the opposite happens. Blood glucose can drop during sleep and stay low for hours, especially in people using insulin or certain diabetes medicines. The NIDDK notes that low blood glucose during sleep can cause nightmares, sweating enough to dampen pajamas or sheets, and feeling tired, irritable, or confused after waking. In our power grid analogy, this is not overloaded wiring. This is a brownout in the basement. The brain depends heavily on glucose, so when levels fall too low, the body treats it like an emergency. Stress hormones surge, sleep becomes fragmented. You may wake up alive but unrested, like your body spent the night fighting a fire you never consciously saw, and this can be dangerous. Severe low blood glucose needs prompt treatment and medical guidance. Sixth, the rebound confusion. Here is the myth bust. People often hear, if your glucose is high in the morning, it must be because it crashed overnight. That can happen, but it is not the main explanation for most morning highs. The American Diabetes Association describes two main culprits for high morning glucose: the dawn phenomenon and waning insulin. A third cause, often called the Somogyi effect, is much rarer. The difference matters. Dawn phenomenon means the liver releases glucose in the early morning and insulin does not fully counter it. Waning insulin means insulin activity fades too much overnight. A rebound pattern means glucose goes too low first, then the body reacts by pushing it higher. Same morning number, different story. Same smoke alarm, different fire. This is why guessing can be risky, especially if someone takes diabetes medication. The solution is not to randomly eat less, skip breakfast, or adjust insulin. The solution is to understand the pattern with proper testing and a clinician. 7th, the dawn pattern. Stat Pearls in the NCBI bookshelf describes dawn phenomenon as early morning hyperglycemia in people with diabetes, not preceded by nighttime hypoglycemia. It is often discussed in the early morning window before breakfast. Clinicians may use continuous glucose monitoring or targeted fingerstick readings to see whether glucose rose steadily, dropped first, or stayed high all night. In one diabetes care study of people with type 2 diabetes, the dawn phenomenon was linked to a measurable impact on overall glucose exposure with an estimated HbA1c effect around 0.4%. That number is not a diagnosis for you. It is a signal that morning glucose is not a tiny detail. For some people with diabetes, the first number of the day can reflect a large hidden section of the night. 8th, the sleep circuit. Now we have to zoom out because blood sugar is not only about food, sleep itself changes the grid. In a study published in Sleep, restricting healthy men to 5 hours in bed per night for 1 week reduced insulin sensitivity. That means the same body eating the same basic way can handle glucose worse after insufficient sleep. This is why the conversation about morning fatigue can get circular. Poor sleep can make glucose control harder. Unstable glucose can make sleep worse. Then worse, sleep feeds the next morning's fatigue. The grid starts chasing its own outage. You wake up tired, reach for caffeine and quick carbohydrates, crash later, sleep poorly again, and the loop repeats. This is not a character flaw. It is feedback biology. 9th, the breakfast trap. Many people respond to morning fatigue by throwing fast sugar at the problem. A sweet coffee, a pastry, a large glass of juice. For a few minutes, it can feel like the lights came back on. But if the underlying issue is insulin resistance or a morning glucose rise, that quick sugar can act like dumping more electricity into a grid with locked buildings. The wires get louder, but the rooms still do not get steady power. A more stable morning usually depends on the pattern: enough sleep, hydration, movement when appropriate, and meals that do not create a huge glucose surge. Protein, fiber-rich carbohydrates, and healthy fats generally enter the system more slowly than pure sugar. But do not turn this into a punishment ritual. Food is not the enemy. The goal is not fear of glucose. The goal is smoother delivery. 10th, the control panel. So what does your morning fatigue actually say about your blood sugar? It says, look for the pattern. One tired morning says almost nothing. Repeated fatigue with thirst, frequent urination, blurred vision, night sweats, nightmares, confusion, shakiness, or known diabetes says much more. For someone already living with diabetes, the useful question is not simply, is my morning number high? It is, what happened between bedtime and waking? Did glucose climb slowly? Did it fall first? Did it stay elevated all night? That is a control panel question, not a willpower question. And if you use insulin or medicines that can lower glucose, do not change doses, meal timing, or exercise timing based on a video. Work with a qualified clinician. Here is the final reframe. Morning fatigue is not proof of a blood sugar problem, but it can be a clue. Your body does not wake up as a blank slate. It wakes up carrying the electrical record of the night before. The liver's generator, the pancreas's signal, the cell's response, the brain's fuel, and the sleep circuit that held it all together. When that grid is balanced, waking feels ordinary in the best way. When it is not, the first symptom may be simple. You open your eyes, the day has started, but inside the city, half the lights are still out.